what's up guys, my name is Mel V. I'm a voice teacher slash vocal coach, certified with New York Vocal Coaching, and today I'm going to be going over one of my favorite YouTubers and their distortion techniques in a character voice. The YouTuber's name is Jacksepticeye. I'm sure if you know who Jacksepticeye is, this will be very, very interesting to you. He's an Irish YouTuber. He's been uploading video games since 2012 and playing them on his channel. And he did this Undertale series about, 7 years ago at this point? It's been a long time. And he does amazing character voices for all these characters. They're just awesome in general. And today I wanted to focus on one specific character that he does, and that is Flowey the Flower. Flowey the Flower is this demonic character with the ability to change timelines and reset timelines for your character. He very much breaks the fourth wall quite a bit in the game. And he's kind of psychotic. And I love the way that Sean portrays this character with the distortions that he uses in his voice. So before we get started, I want to kind of go over the base distortions. In your throat, you have this bulge in your throat. It's called your larynx. Your larynx has many parts and pieces, including your vocal cords and the things attached to them. And one of those is your arytenoids. Arytenoids are these little cartilages that got brought together, and they vibrate and create all these very interesting growly kind of sounds, like a is a good example of an arytenoid distortion sound. Now, what can happen typically when we try to make these sounds is that sometimes the tongue tends to pull back and create more of a epiglottic distortion, which is a darker sound involving the epiglottis in the back of your throat. The epiglottis is this sleek little cartilage that folds over the top of your windpipe and your cords so that you don't choke on liquids or foods or anything like that. So sometimes when we're trying to make that bright, hey, how's it going? Kind of sound, sometimes our tongue pulls back and creates a, hey, how's it going? And it gets this kind of sound instead. Then we also have another distortion called vocal fry. This is typically used in your death metal groups. The fry scream is what it's typically called. It's a very dry, creaky kind of quality. And it's really, really great for this character that he plays as. Really, really great for the psychotic nature of this demented flower. So he uses that quite a bit. Vocal fry involves your true folds, which sit in your throat, and they vibrate very, very irregularly when the sound is created. So if you slide down on a very comfortable note to the bottom of your range, you get this kind of creaky quality voice. And then you can start to add a bit of breathier qualities to that sound, and then drag it a little bit higher in your voice. And eventually you get this very, very dry, shrieky kind of quality, which is considered a fry scream. Sean uses his fry voice quite a bit for this character. And then finally we have something called a grunt. A grunt is a very breathy, kind of rumbly sound that is just barely preceding a death metal growl. So if you listen to Amorphous or if you've heard Ginger, you know what a death metal growl is. It's this very, very dark, rumbly, strong growl quality. A grunt is just before that. It has a bit more airflow, so it sounds something like this. If you think of like a gorilla or an animal, this is kind of what that sounds like. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. I'm going to pause and tell you what I think he's using, maybe try to replicate some of the sounds he's using, and then I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments as well. Alright, here we go.
Awesome! Howdy! It's me, Flowey! Flowey the Flower!
Cool. So he uses like 3 distortions right off the bat. I'm hearing vocal fry, howdy, with a little bit of a growl on top of it. So almost like a rasp, which is another distortion we didn't really go into too much because I don't think he uses it quite as much here. Rasp is involving the false chords above your true folds, and they come together and create the yeah, hey, whoa, living on a prayer kind of sound. That pretty, hey, whoa, what's up kind of sound. That's rasp. So I think he uses a little bit of a combination between maybe fry and rasp and then just a touch of a growl. So it's like a combo distortion here in the beginning. And he kind of fluctuates in and out of these as well, which is really, really cool. Is he can quickly just change it. He's doing one thing and then he just changes to another. So let's just go ahead and keep going. But that's what I just heard right off the bat is a arytenoid, a little bit of fry, and maybe just a touch of rasp.
I owe you a huge thanks. You really did a number on that old fool.
Ooh. So I hear a little bit of Fry. I hear a little bit of that grunting kind of quality we were talking about before. And his voice here, which is really, really cool. Also, a grunt, I didn't say this before, is another sound that involves just the true chords. This is a completely true chord-dominated sound, which is really, really interesting because I always thought that that was more rhythmoid-based, and apparently it's not, because we've seen scopes and cameras of this stuff, so it's really cool to see that in action. But he has a bit of a grunt here.
Without you, I never could have gotten past him.
It's just interchanging it so much. We've got a rhythmoid, we've got grunt, we've got a little bit of Fry, kind of like all intertwining and like changing. It's so cool.
But now, oh god, he has his face. With your help, he's dead.
It's what really makes it demented too, is the fact that he's changing the sound, but it doesn't feel like it's so dramatic. In fact, if you didn't know what any of these sounds were, you wouldn't really think much of it. It would kind of sound the same. So it's changing, but it's also not that dramatic of a change, which kind of fits in with the style of this character's voice being consistent, but having that demented quality to it, that evil, psychotic quality to it, which he does really, really well. I think it's awesome.
And I've got the human soul! Oh, Jesus Christ. He's a creepy dude. Boy!
Ooh, yep, that's definitely a rhythmoid. That growly, boy! Yeah, that's definitely more of a rhythmoid sound.
I've been empty for so long! It feels great to have a soul inside me again! I can feel them wriggling.
And then, of course, he has a voice modulator, which makes that even cooler.
Ah, you're feeling left out, aren't you? Well, that's just perfect!
That's just perfect! A lot of Fry, like a lot of Fry there.
After all, I only have 6 souls. I still need one more.
Ooh, that's a nice little Fry grunt combo there when he gets close to the mic like that. That's really cool.
Before I become a god.
Cool. So I would consider that a death metal growl. So there's a difference between different kinds of growls, right? You have your rhythmoid growls, and then you have your epiglottic growls. Hey, what kind of car do I drive? Aaron Hansen kind of Yoda voice growls. And then you have your death metal growls, which I'm still very much learning how to do, so I can't really replicate it. But he kind of just did a death metal growl with that very rumbly, dark voice he just did. That is definitely more of what I would consider a death metal growl sound, which is so cool. Oh, and death metal growls are typically involved with the false chords and also the arytenoids together to create that kind of a sound, so it's really cool.
And then, with my newfound powers,
Nice.
monsters is...
Ooh. So he had a little bit of like a nice Fry rasp combo, and then he kind of cracked a little bit because he was surprised, which is kind of funny.
that Toriel's face? Humans!
Fry.
Everyone!
Grunt rasp or grunt arytenoid?
I'll show them all the real meaning of this world!
Oh, that's cool. He had a grunt going, kind of like in and out, and then also had a little bit of a growl factor to that as well, which is cool.
Going to fight you now? Oh, and forget about escaping to your old save file!
That right there where he just did is more of his typical Flowey voice, that arytenoid, bright, bratty kind of sound with the, is a lot more of his typical Flowey voice, I would say in general.
It's gone forever!
But you got more
But
grunts.
don't worry, your old friend Flowey has worked out a replacement for you.
I'll save over your own death!
Yeah, I would say that's more death metal or even grunt growl combo. So very, very close to a death metal growl.
So you can watch me tear you to bloody pieces!
Cool. So he started in a grunt and then kind of went into a fry at the end, which is cool.
Over and over and over!
Oh, that's cool. That's like a fry growl. Oh, it's so cool that how he does this.
What? Do you really think you can stop
Really
me?
think? Grunt.
You really are an idiot!
So, yeah. You really are an idiot. Yeah. Arytenoid. Started with the grunt, went into arytenoid, and then went into fry. So cool. So cool. That was basically the entire clip I wanted to show you. There's a lot happening here, but the primary distortions I think Sean uses is going to be that arytenoid, and then the grunt that he uses, and then also fry are probably the three main ones he kind of tinkers with Flowey. He also does other characters as well. I'm not going to do them today, but there is another character named Undyne that he uses a lot more rasp with. It's more of a distinguishable, oh, hey, whoa, what's up, kind of sound. It's definitely more recognizable as a rasp. So we can go into that next time. I think it'd be really fun to play with. But overall, that's the video for you guys. If you guys have any questions about any of the stuff I've gone over, if I didn't explain them well enough, or you're just curious in general, let me know in the comments. As far as Sean goes, I think the thing you can benefit most with for singing and for control is learning how to isolate these distortions individually and use them as a choice more than just a character voice, which is fine because it's still really cool and he has a huge variety of them, but I don't think he's actively saying I want to use this kind of distortion here, which is something that I would love to be able to teach him to do if he's ever interested in that. So if Sean ever sees this video. And if you're interested in any voice lessons, I'm a voice teacher. I'm always accepting voice students, so let me know if you're interested in learning how to sing and control your skills. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time, and looking forward to it. Bye.